y'all. It's so good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. A name here, Mallory Beaver, Cindy from South Florida, and Rhonda so far. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we should be listening to the rest of Jose's testimony unless he decides to stop testifying, which would probably be in his... It would probably benefit him to just stop talking, but, you know, I don't know at this point. Let me turn off my background. We're waiting on court to start. Hold on just a minute. And hopefully that's fixed. Yep, it sure enough is. All right, so we're waiting on them to come to court as usual. Keep in mind, court starts at 9:30, right? And it's 10 o'clock, and we're still waiting on them. Hello, Bad Girl and Hannah, UK, don't flatter yourself. Gray Moon, Cara, April, and Sarah Lee, good to see you. All right, I'm getting situated. I was up at the garden piddling around. Ashley, good to see you. He is taking the stand. He took the stand for a little while yesterday, and he's supposed to come back this morning and finish it. She kind of cut him off in the middle of testimony, and the prosecution was getting real mad. He's in for a rude awakening when that prosecution gets a hold of that rear end, because they're going to tear him a new one. Y'all, my TikTok neighbor made the cutest cookies. I'm going to post them on my wall, but I'm going to try to show you guys a picture real quick. She's like a master baker. She went on like a game show, and I think she won second place, but she bakes things on TikTok, and she does pretty good. I know she's monetized. And I want to show you these cookies she brought over for me and the children this morning. Let me pull it up. They are the cutest cookies I believe I've ever seen. Really? Hold on. Hold on. Good morning, Heathen. Good to see you. While we wait, she made Cookie Monster cookies. Yeah, I would like for you to pull that up. That's why I clicked on it, computer. Okay, let me show you guys. Hold on. My computer's taking a minute to wake up this morning. Aren't they cute? Isn't that adorable? Yeah, I'm about to eat one of them. He then said, let's see what bull crap this crazy mofo says today. He had all night to think up some more nonsense. Y'all, his story, aren't they adorable though? Like, she did a really good job. She's a master baker, so, you know, I wouldn't expect otherwise, but she did an amazing job. This mofo said that, okay, so when people do substances, they get in a state where they're stuck, right? And sometimes they can't move and they can't do anything, okay? And he's claiming that he smoked PCP and got basically stuck to where he can't move and can't do anything, and was so zooted that he watched these people come in his house, take his daughter, leave, and literally beat Christine to death while he just stood there because he was zooted and couldn't stop it and just saying, please stop, please stop. And then after that, bagged up all of the stuff with the blood on it, went and donated it, and bought a pack of cigarettes. That's his story. Aren't they cute? Girl, I wish I had some espresso shots too. I thought they were adorable. Doesn't Jose need an expert to testify to this BS? He had that expert psychologist, supposedly expert psychologist, come in yesterday and testify as to the effects of PCP. So I don't know. Again, I guess we shall see. Trying to do too many things at once. Okay. Hey, Hugh. You're on your way out to bed. Oh, well, I hope that you sleep good, love.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we are here today to...
I don't know, bad girl, about getting stuck. I mean, I don't know that anybody could testify to that other than other drug users, I suppose. I hope you sleep good, love.
We resume the trial in the matter of State of Connecticut versus Jose Morales. I would first ask counsel to please place their appearances on the record for purposes of today's proceedings.
Howard Stein, Supervisory Assistant State's Attorney, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Assistant State's Attorney Mark Burton. Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Gavin for Jose Morales, who's seated to my left.
Good morning. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, before bringing our jury in this morning, we were in the middle of the direct of Mr. Jose Morales. Is there anything that needs to be addressed on the record before we bring the jury in?
No, Your Honor. We're going to, as I indicated at the break yesterday, we're going to play some video evidence this morning. And Mr. Morales is prepared to continue his direct examination.
Hey, one sunny day.
And with that, this morning, certainly.
All right, and is the video evidence all set and ready to go so that we don't take a long time setting that up or getting that situated?
Go ahead.
All right, and why don't we have Mr. Morales come back up to the stand and take the stand? Mr. Morales, I'm going to have him come back up.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Morales, as you take the stand, I will remind you, sir, that you do continue to be under the obligations of the oath that you took when you first entered the stand to provide your testimony here in court, okay? All right, have a seat. All right, with that, Madam Clerk, if we could please bring in our jury. Thank you. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You may be seated. All right, counsel, please stipulate to the return of our jurors.
So stipulate, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Attorney Gavin, if you'd like to come up and continue the direct of Mr. Jose Morales, we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Morales.
Good morning.
Mr. Morales, I just want to orient you where we left off yesterday afternoon in your direct testimony. You indicated at that point where we stopped that you had placed garbage bags on the front deck of 6.5 Myrtle. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, Your Honor, Peter. Your Honor, we would like to play Exhibit F, which is identification purposes. At this point, there are 3 videos.
So is F a full exhibit?
No, F is going to be a full exhibit.
Okay, so if it's just ID, I can't play it and publish it yet, so we have to make a determination on F.
I don't know if the state has any objection to that.
No objection.
No objection? All right, so the court will enter into evidence as a full exhibit. Defense is F.
G is in George and H is in Henry.
Are you okay with G
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
H as well? All right, very good. So then the court will accept into evidence as full defendants G, F, G, and H. Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you.
now you can go ahead and publish. Was it F that you wanted to publish?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Morales, is your video screen working there, sir?
Yes, it is.
And please remember, just come close to the mic and speak louder than you normally would, okay?
Okay.
Great. Now, Mr. Morales, where we had left off in the area at the end of the testimony yesterday, you indicated that in the apartment at 6.5 Myrtle, you had gone to the front door where the screen door was and the wood door. You recall that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I want you to just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you went to the front door, what did you observe?
I saw the guy that left the house going towards the corner of Myrtle Ave and West Street. I saw a car coming from Myrtle Ave and turning towards West Street. Slow down. I saw the headlights on. The guy that left the apartment got in the car, and I saw the car driving down West Street.
Okay. If we could play the video, please. We're going to start with F as in Frank, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Morales, was that the vehicle that you observed from the deck at 6.5 Myrtle leaving the area of the property?
Yes.
Can we go to the next one? Your Honor, for the next exhibit.
Good morning, Spencer.
Okay, thank you. Publishing G.
It's a video of him driving, if I remember correctly. AM and Alex, good to see you.
You can play the whole video. Mr. Morales, the videos are in 1 minute segments, so they're not continuous. So I'm going to show you. We would start here. Go ahead here. We would start here. Stop. Okay. Is that the vehicle that you saw leaving?
Yes.
Okay, and just, do we have the map there? And I want to thank the state for their assistance in playing this. Thank you. Mr. Morales, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit U. This is a full exhibit, okay? And I'm just going to orient you to 6.5 Myrtle.
Yes.
See that, sir?
I see it.
Okay, and I want you to tell us where the vehicle was traveling in what direction.
He was coming down from Myrtle Ave and he took a left into West Street.
Oh, let's go slow. This is Myrtle Avenue where my pen is. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. When it reached the intersection of West Street, 6.5 was here, you were on the porch. Which way did it go, sir?
He took a left onto West Street.
onto West Street, which you joined the property at 6.5 Myrtle and went down West Street. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great. And then just the last, thank you.
Hannah, thank you for sharing your 1 month milestone with us. That was so very sweet of you. I love when y'all do that. She said, glad I found y'all. Well, I'm glad you found us too, and I'm glad we found you.
One last one. Mr. Vestry, if you would go to the 5630 area there. Okay, just hold on. Oh, stop now. Sorry. When you were up on 6.5 Myrtle and the vehicle turned on West Street, can you just tell ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what's the next street that West intersects with?
Cottage Avenue.
Okay, and this video is from Cottage Avenue. I'm sorry, Peter.
Well, I'm going to object at this point. Were you able to see the vehicle? Were you able?
Well, hold on a minute, Attorney Stein. If you're going to object, let me rule on the objection without questioning the witness, please.
He cannot say this is the vehicle. It calls for speculation. If he's over at 6.5 Myrtle Street to say that this is the same vehicle,
Okay.
several streets over.
So, hold on, Attorney Stein. We were talking about Cottage Street. I'm not even sure that we got a question out yet. Please let me hear the question before we note an objection. Attorney Gavin, can you please re-ask the question?
Sure. Okay. You indicated that West intersects with Cottage.
Cindy, I had walked to grab my coffee. Thank you so much for gifting 5 speculation station memberships. If I can access my lab, I will try to see who those went to. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. I really appreciate that so very much. I can't express to you my appreciation for that. That was so sweet of you. Those went to Megan Bessel, Beanie Boomer, Mom of 2, Rose Petals, and LJ. If you were gifted and you are aware you were gifted, please tell Cindy from South Florida thank you, and I will grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Cindy. I really appreciate that. That was so sweet of you. Thank you so very much.
Cottage Street.
Yes.
Correct. And Your Honor, he's going to identify the vehicle. So that's that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter. You can go ahead and play it. Okay. Now, can you identify what vehicle is depicted there in Exhibit H, please?
Yes, that's the vehicle that I saw that the guy went in on the corner of Myrtle and West.
Right. So you're identifying that's the vehicle that you saw on Myrtle Avenue on West, and you weren't down on Cottage Street, correct?
Correct.
But you can identify that that is the vehicle.
That is the vehicle.
Hey, Orange.
Should I proceed? Your Honor?
Sure.
Oh, okay, thanks.
You're so
Thank
sweet.
you.
The objection is overruled, by the way. That's subject for cross-examination. Attorney Gavin, you may proceed.
Thank you. We're also,
Mhm.
you can just play that for another. Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Yep, Cara, I agree.
Okay. So now you've identified the vehicle. Now, I want to go back to what you
Hey,
did.
Kate.
Okay, sir? All right.
Jenny Jen.
At 6.5 Myrtle, after the vehicle had left, I want you to tell the ladies and gentlemen, the jury, in your own words, what did you do?
I went back inside the apartment.
Okay, and what happened next?
I closed the door and I looked at what was in front of me.
Okay, and what steps did you take? Did you leave the apartment? Did you stay there?
Well, I stayed in the apartment for a little. Yeah, I stayed in the apartment.
Okay, what'd you do?
I looked around. I looked for Vanessa. I couldn't find her. So I was gonna call police, but the words that the guy said to me kept ringing in my head.
Mr.
So
Morales, just what did you do? What did you physically do while you were in the apartment?
I sat down in the bed
Okay, how long were you in the apartment?
till early in the morning.
Okay,
So that was around 1:58, 1:59 in the morning
okay,
when this happened.
okay,
When the car left the apartment. So after that, I went inside the apartment. I looked around for a little while. I looked for Vanessa. I couldn't find her.
This is repetitive.
I went.
Attorney Stein, if you have an objection, just stand up and say that you have an objection.
It is an objection, Your Honor. It is repetitive.
Okay, so it's repetitive. I'm going to ask the
Right,
witness to move
Rhonda?
on from the point in time. that
Hey,
you're-
Fonny.
Thank you.
did there
All
come a
right.
point when you left the
Clearly.
apartment?
Yes,
Okay, when was that?
Hey,
that
Teresa.
was in the morning.
No,
around
you're
6
good.
o'clock in the morning.
All right, and what did you do, if anything, before you left the apartment?
That's when I had put all the stuff that I was around Christine in bags, in garbage bags, and
Good
placed
question.
them in the front deck.
Okay. When you said you had picked up stuff and put them in garbage bags, is
Yes.
that correct? Okay, you have to testify in regard to what you did. I think you said you put them outside.
I put them outside in the front deck.
Okay,
Yes.
and what did you do next?
Well, around 6 in the morning, I wanted to
Right.
smoke a cigarette,
Abraham.
but I didn't have no cigarettes.
morning.
So I was heading towards the gas station.
Okay, did you leave the apartment?
I did.
Okay, and did you utilize a contractor bag at all?
Objection, Your Honor. Repeat it.
Disability level. Okay, what did you do at the time you were leaving the apartment?
So I was walking towards the car, and I saw to the side and I saw the bags, and I said to myself, I can't leave these bags out here. So I went back inside the apartment. I grabbed one of the contractor bags, the big trash bags, the black ones. I went outside back to the front deck, and I placed all the small garbage bags that I had in the front deck inside a big contractor bag. I tied it up real good, and I put it in the trunk of my car, and I headed towards the gas station.
Okay, and what did you do next since you're headed towards the gas station?
Well, as I was going to the gas station, I started thinking, what should I do with the stuff that is in the bags, right? So the first thought that came into my mind was the recycle bin that I put stuff in it before. So I headed that way
Where was that located?
on Derby Ave.
Okay, and was there any buildings near there where the donation?
Oh,
bins?
sorry.
Yeah, I believe.
I didn't realize I was unmuted. I was just about to tell you I take Prevagen, and you have to chew it up, but them things are hard if you've ever taken it, and so I have to beat it and then take it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was unmuted. Cara, thank you so much for gifting 10 Speculation Station memberships. I really appreciate that. Those went to Stephanie, Butter Biscuit, Tugs on Heartstrings, Cindy Arnold, Joy, Willie B, Christine Hawkins, the Boo Crew, Rhonda Loves, and Kimmy C123. Thank you so much. That was so very sweet of you, and that was so very sweet and supportive of you. I really appreciate that. If you were gifted a membership from Cara, please tell her thank you, and I will grab the Polar Express to pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so very much, Cara. Hold on, I'll show you what it was. If I really appreciate that. That was so sweet of you. I took 2 pictures so you can kind of understand what I'm saying. So while I email them to myself, we'll listen to the to him testify, and I'll show you what it was. Hold on just a minute. I apologize. I thought I was muted. Hey, Zan. Good to see you, love.
Please, there's a little bar restaurant across the street, and I think it's a church in next to it.
Okay. And did you actually arrive at the donation bins?
I did.
Okay. Tell ladies and gentlemen, the jury, what'd you do with the donation bins?
So I went into the parking lot. I backed the car into one of the donation bins. I opened the trunk from the inside of the car. I got out of the car. I went into the trunk. I grabbed the big contractor bag and I tried to stuff it inside the donation bin opening. And I tried it wasn't going because it was too big. So I threw the contractor bag back in the trunk of the car. I opened it and I started taking the bags from the big trash bag and throwing them inside a bin, one at a time. I did that until all the bags were inside a bin already. And I closed the trunk. I got back in the car and I headed towards the gas station.
Okay. And where was the gas station located?
The gas station was like, the gas station is on Derby Ave.
Okay.
It's going to get choppy while I try to open my email to show you guys. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, I'll show you what it was. So that is Prevagen, and it's like really hard, and you have to chew it up. See, Prevagen, it improves memory, and it's extra strength chewables that are mixed berry flavor, but they're like really big, and you have to chew them up. The reason I take it is because I've noticed sometimes on live streams, I would be like, what? Like, I don't know, like have some duh moments. And so I started taking Prevagen. It's expensive, but it works really well. But anyway, since I can't chew that big old thing, I have to like crush it up and then take it. So that's what y'all heard. I apologize for that. I thought I was muted. You try to take Prevagen, but you always forget. Hey, Overprotected and Indy. Yeah, they're huge. And I'm like, old people are supposed to take them? My goodness. And you expect them to chew, like, not everybody has the best teeth, especially elderly. You expect them to chew them big old things up? No, I just crush it up and then take it. Miss Holmes, good to see you.
Oh, Main Street.
Okay. What time did you get to the gas station approximately?
Around 6:07 in the morning.
Okay. And what happened when you went to the gas station?
When I got to the gas station, I parked by the entrance of the gas station and proceeded to go inside of the gas station.
Okay. Just tell us what you do at the gas station.
When I went in the gas station, my intention was to buy cigarettes. So I got my debit card and I tried to work my debit card, but because my mind was so messed up from the PCP, I couldn't figure out the numbers. So, and I tried a couple of times, I couldn't figure it out. So I put the debit card back in my pocket and I looked for money. I had like $6 in my pocket. So I asked the clerk if they had any kind of cigarettes that I can buy for $6. I was instructed that,
Objection as to what he was.
well,
Just stop right there. Okay. You can't
Okay.
testify
Okay.
what the court, but there's no question that you were at the Shell gas station. Is that
yes,
correct?
that's
All right.
correct.
And did there come a point where you left the Shell gas station?
Well, once I found out that I couldn't purchase cigarettes with that little bit of money, I remember about down the street there's another gas station. So I left the Shell gas station and went down the street to the next gas station.
Okay. And did you return to the Shell gas station?
Yes, I tried the same procedure in the other gas station with the debit card. I couldn't figure out the number, so then I went back to the Shell gas station, parked in the same place by the entrance of the Shell gas station, and went back inside. This time I purchased one Black and Mild cigar.
What's a Black and Mild cigar?
Is it's something you smoke. It's just a cigar, Black and Mild.
That's the brand, Black and Mild?
Yeah, that's the name of it. Yes.
Okay. And so you went back to the gas station the second time, and that's when you bought the Black and Mild, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and where did you go after the gas station, the Shell gas station? Where did you go?
So that was the second time in the gas station. After that, I just went back to the apartment on Myrtle Ave, 6.5 Myrtle Ave.
Okay. Jose, can we play 160? Excuse me, Ryan. Can we play 169?
Are we referring to States Exhibit
States Exhibit
169? Thank you.
Which is a full exhibit, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Morales, your monitor is working, you told us, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is a little bit of a lengthy video, and we're going to go through segments of it. We're going to start and stop, okay? So
Okay.
just if you could watch.
Hey,
the
Ginger,
monitor.
I think it was his.
Now, this situation with going to the donation bins at the gas station, that's Sunday, December 1st, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Scratch.
Mr. Morales, let's start with these. Is that your
Yep.
vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And you had a distinct muffler noise on your vehicle? Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this is you leaving 6.5 Myrtle and heading in the general direction of the gas station. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you had an opportunity to see this video previously.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So there's no doubt that that's your car.
No doubt.
You see that, Mr. Morales?
Yes.
On the way to the gas station, go St. Michael's Church for the donation bins. You have to pass the old Ansonia Police Station at 2 Elm Street.
Yes.
Mr. Morales, whose car is that depicted in the video?
That's my car.
Thank you.
Hey, Linda. He claims to not remember anything, but remembers everything so vividly. Make it make sense. Oh, Teresa. So sweet.
Now, Mr. Morales, this is your St. Michael's Church. Can you identify the vehicle that's depicted in this?
That's me heading towards the bin.
Thank you. Mr. Morales, you can see from the timestamp of 6:14, so it was about 5 minutes after you had gone down Derby Avenue. Is that your vehicle returning?
Not really.
to the area?
Good morning, Michael.
That's me leaving the area of the bin towards the gas station now.
Dan, you're so funny. Yeah, he's cleaning up. That's about it. Thank you, Cara.
Mr. Morales, is that the gas station that you were referring to?
Yes, it is.
And that's on the corner of Division Street and Main Street.
That's correct.
And you see there's a car pulling into the top left-hand corner.
That's the 10 Nissan. That's my car.
Is that you getting out of the car?
That's me.
You. Mr. Morales, who's the individual that just came up to the counter?
That's me.
For real. I mean, really, sir. And you could tell he messes up on the pen here. Like, he was still high as bird twat, but
Mr. Morales, does that, I think you attempting to use your debit card?
hey, Nessa.
Yes.
And were you able to go ahead and complete the purchase?
No.
Right?
And then did you leave the gas station?
I did.
Me too, because I would ask. I mean, you can tell he's messed up. Parking in a fire lane. You know what, Rhonda? It might have been Christine's card, and wouldn't that be even more sad?
Mr. Morales, after going to the counter and getting back into your car, you left the gas station, is that correct?
That's
Is that
correct.
your vehicle located in the left-hand side of the video?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Julie. Good to see you. Like, even there, he messes up and is about to go out the wrong way and all that. Abraham and Zan, y'all killing it today. Cara, too.
This is Maria's hair design just across Division Street. Is that your vehicle seen leaving the gas station across the street?
Yes.
Right, Kate?
In the background, you see the vehicle heading on Main Street.
Yes.
Sir, this is
Is that
Wendy.
your vehicle?
That is.
And where are you going at that point?
Back to the apartment, 6.5 Myrtle Ave.
I mean, you know.
Is that your vehicle?
Yes,
Okay. And you said at this point you were returning back to 6.5 Myrtle?
that's correct.
Mr. Morales, you can see it's a little bit lighter out now.
Yes,
Okay. Is that your vehicle turning?
yes.
Okay. And what direction are you heading back towards?
Jackson Place towards Myrtle Ave.
And that's that distinct muffler sound of your vehicle, correct?
It is, yes.
Mr. Morales, while we have the video on here, I'm going to take you past the early morning hours of Sunday, December 1st. I just want to go ahead and make sure there's no issue. This indicates that the car leaves Myrtle Avenue, travels down West Street. This is approximately. Can you identify the vehicle in that clip of the video?
Yes, that's my car. Yes, that's my car.
Identify that vehicle?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Morales, can you Identify the vehicle in that frame, sir.
Yes, that's my car.
Thank you.
Hannah, thank you so much for the support. That was so sweet of you. Hannah said, in my opinion, Jose messed up his own chances. If there was reasonable doubt before he testified, his story removed all reasons about that and made him look guilty. It did. I mean, like Cara said earlier, basically the defense handed him a shovel and said, here you go, get on the stand. He's digging his own grave. And it is a spectacle to watch, and I'm here for it. I mean, you want to get up there and dig your own grave, you go right ahead. I'll sit back and eat my TikTok cookies and laugh at you at this point. I mean, we know he did this, and so we know that he's helping Christine get justice. I know that. So, Car said that's my car for some reason. The bad guys gave it back to me. I don't remember when. Exactly. Thank you, Hannah. Again, Abraham said, I'm not a parent, but I imagine that if something like this really happened, your ass would sober right the fuck up. And you would, or at least stumble and fight the air, making your way towards that man. Exactly. That's my issue with it. Like, you would sober up immediately if you saw some shit going down like what he described, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, please don't
Now we're
forget to
going-
hit thumbs up.
Just to orient you, now it's the afternoon of Sunday, December 1st, sir. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Can you identify that vehicle?
That's my car.
Thank you. Mr. Morales, in this frame of the video, can you identify the car that's making the right-hand turn?
That's my car.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, Mr. Morales, now we're going to the following day, which is Monday, December 2nd, okay? Just to
Okay.
orient you. Thank you.
I'm glad he's okay. I'm sorry that happened. But yeah, it's a good example. Sorry that happened, though. I hope he's all right.
Now, Mr. Morales, do you recognize the vehicle that is depicted in this frame?
I do.
Yep. Now, you had testified that Christine had purchased the Ford Focus, correct?
Yes.
The day on Saturday,
Friday.
Friday at Barbarino. Excuse me. What color was that car?
Black.
Okay. Do you recognize the car that's depicted in that frame of the video?
I believe that's the Ford Focus.
Okay. And who is driving the Ford Focus?
I am.
Thank you. Sir, the vehicle that is depicted in this frame making the right-hand turn up towards Myrtle Avenue, can you identify that vehicle for us?
I believe that's the Ford Focus.
Okay, and who would have been driving the Ford Focus?
Me.
Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, love. Hey, Jen.
Charles, thank you. Okay, Mr. Morales, it's lighter out, obviously. You see that?
Yes,
Okay, and you see the vehicle making the turn there?
I see it.
Yep. And whose vehicle is that?
I don't recognize that vehicle. That's not the one.
You're not sure what vehicle that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We can continue.
Thank you, Teresa. So what he said.
Okay. Do you recognize the vehicle that went through now?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Chelsea.
That's it.
Now,
Yeah.
making the left-hand turn, the black vehicle, do you recognize that vehicle?
I do.
And what vehicle is that?
That's the Ford Focus.
And who is the operator of the Ford Focus?
I was.
Thank you, sir. Yep. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Sir, you see in the lower right-hand quadrant of this still of the video, do you see a vehicle making a right-hand turn?
I do.
Can you identify that vehicle?
Black Ford Focus.
And who is the operator of that vehicle?
I am.
Thank you. Sir, you saw the black vehicle traverse up the hill, correct?
Yes.
And then you see it's making a left-hand turn.
Yes.
What's at the corner of that intersection where the vehicle is making the left-hand turn?
That's Myrtle Ave.
Okay. And where's the residence of 6.5 Myrtle Avenue? So
It's right on that corner.
right on that corner. Thank you.
You can.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Your Honor, the balance of this is a full exhibit. The balance of the video is the police officers responding. So,
Okay.
okay. Thank you, Chelsea. We can, okay. Now, I just want to orient your time, okay?
Okay.
After you had gone to the Shell gas station and the donation pins, you told us you went back to 6.5 Myrtle.
I did.
Okay, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you did at 6.5 Myrtle after that.
I went inside the apartment and I locked myself in the bathroom.
Why?
I just couldn't bear to see what was in the hallway.
Okay, what was in the hallway?
Christine,
Okay. And what did you do next?
I smoked the black and mild that I had purchased from the gas station in the bathroom.
Okay. And did you use PCP at that time?
No,
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Sustained.
Okay. You were in the bathroom, okay, and what happened next?
I smoked the. I was scared to leave the bathroom.
Objection's not responsive.
Well, I'll overrule it. You can.
Tell us in your own, sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
You can answer.
So I stood in the bathroom. I smoked the black and mild. The black and mild had a really bad odor to it. So I lit one of the candles that was in the bathroom and I cracked the skylight window to get the smoke out of there. And I was just there for like 2 hours.
Okay. What happened next, sir?
For like the first hour, I smoked the black and mild. For the second hour, I was just in there. And around 8 in the morning, I wanted to go and get another black and mild.
Okay. And what steps did you take?
That's when I left the apartment again and went back to the gas station.
Okay. The Shell gas station.
Yes, the Shell
Okay.
gas station.
What happened there?
I purchased another black and mild.
Okay. And what'd you do after the gas station?
I drove right back to the apartment.
Okay. And what'd you do when you got to the apartment?
I went back into the bathroom.
Okay. And what happened?
While I was in the bathroom, I was smoking the black and mild. I, I was feeling extremely sad, and the way that Christine was looking in the hallway. So I didn't want nobody to see her like that. So I left the bathroom. I gathered myself up. I left the bathroom, went into the hallway, and I grabbed Christine. And before I left the bathroom, the idea was to bring Christine and put her in the tub. I grabbed the curtain. I flipped it over the pole. I went into the hallway. I gently grabbed Christine and I placed it in the tub.
Okay. And do you know approximately what time that was?
In between 9 and 1, before 1 o'clock
Okay.
on Sunday morning.
After you placed
I'm sorry, on what morning?
Sunday.
Sunday morning you talking about now?
Sunday, yeah,
Yeah, Sunday.
that would have been December 1st. Okay, so you placed Christine in the tub. Okay?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do next in the apartment?
Once I did that, I closed the bathroom door, and now I'm inside the apartment, and I see the blood all over the hallway floor and by the door entrance. And I went and I grabbed the bucket from under the sink with towels, and I filled it up halfway, almost more than halfway with water, and I started cleaning because when I was walking around, I have left footprints from the blood in the carpet. So I started just cleaning the blood that was on the tiles, and I cleaned it up with the bucket, and I was dumping the water from the bucket into the garbage disposal. So as I was cleaning the floor, it was garbage. It was whatever was on all over the area, whatever I was scooping up from the floor, I was dumping it into the garbage disposal.
Where was the garbage disposal located, sir?
In the kitchen area next to the sink.
Next to the sink, okay. So you admittedly cleaned up that area.
I did. I cleaned the area that had the big, where it was a lot of blood, because it was blood in many different spots, and there was droplets of blood around. So I did the floor area
Okay?
and the carpet.
Now, sir, we're gonna, again, we're on Sunday, December 1st, okay? What
Yes.
did you do for the balance of the afternoon and evening?
Well, around 1 o'clock, that's when I wanted to smoke again, but I didn't have enough money to get another Black and Mild. And I was trying to figure out the numbers to see if I can figure out the numbers of my car by then, but I still couldn't do it. So I remember that on the corner on Beaver and Mott Street, there is a small convenience store. So I went to the convenience store to see if I can buy a Lucy or something, a loose cigarettes to see if they had Lucy's or something like that. So I went, they didn't, and I drove right back to the apartment and I went back inside.
Do you know who Mr. George O'Mara is?
Yes,
Just tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, who Mr. O'Mara is.
he's the next door neighbor.
Okay, on Myrtle Avenue?
Yes.
When you returned from the convenience store, did you see Mr. O'Mara?
Well, yes, when I was getting out the car, I saw him in front of his house.
Hey,
We gave
Anderson.
each other some like high gestures, and I just kept going inside the apartment.
Okay. After you returned to the apartment, after you waved to Mr. O'Mara, what did you do?
I was just in the apartment for the rest of the day.
Okay. You didn't leave the apartment after that?
I didn't leave the apartment at all.
Okay. So that's Sunday. I'm going to take you now into Monday, okay?
Okay,
All right? Were you in the apartment Sunday night into Monday morning?
I was.
Okay. And now I'm going to go into Monday, okay?
Okay.
Okay, just to orient you. So Monday, which would have been December 2nd, I want you to tell ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what did you do in the morning of Monday, December 2nd?
Well, early in the morning, the 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 high was winding down, and I started getting the urge, and I remember that I still had one bag left of the PCP that was given to me by Hector. So I rolled it, but I didn't want to smoke it in the apartment. So I was gonna go for a ride to smoke the PCP.
Okay. And where did you do that?
Well, I left the apartment. I got in my car. When I got in my car, I noticed that I only had a little bit of gas left. I went back inside the apartment. I got the keys to the four, and I took the four for a ride. And that's the car that I went to smoke the PCP.
To smoke the PCP?
Yeah.
And where did you do that, if you recall?
So I drove around aimlessly for a while. I was freaking out. I was paranoid at the same time. I'm thinking somebody was following my sign. So I drove towards the orange area. I probably made it all the way to like New Haven, drove around to the areas that I'm familiar with. I parked somewhere. I smoked, I parked. I once the the stuck portion of the high subsided, I drove again aimlessly back to Myrtle Ave, and I parked across the street from 6.5 Myrtle Avenue
Okay. And what vehicle were you in at that time?
in the four.
In the Ford
Focus,
Focus?
yes.
Okay. And did you do anything in regard to Christine, who was in the bathroom?
Not
And you're on her leading.
I'll allow it.
at this time. I didn't get out of the car yet. I stood in the car and waited in there. Well, kind of like passed out in the car for a little while.
It's
And then I went.
non-responsive to the question now. Did you do anything with
All
Christine?
right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you. So just please object, state your purpose of your objection. Again, Attorney Stein, and I'll deal with the objection. The answer is becoming unresponsive. Attorney Gavin, I will stop the answer as unresponsive. Attorney Stein, would you like me to strike any portion of the answer?
That's fine, Your Honor. I just like for to ask the
Thank
question.
you. Attorney Gavin?
Thank you. You have to just answer my question,
Okay.
okay? I know you're nervous. Did you do anything in regard to Christine Holloway on Monday, December 2nd?
I did.
Just tell us what you did.
Well, once,
Just tell us exactly what you did.
well, I wanted to, I wanted to dress her. So I, when I first put her in the tub, there was items of clothing that was still under her when I carried her to the tub. So I wanted to dress her. So I pushed her forward a little bit and I took them items of dressing from the back of her. I took them out and put them on the floor of the bathroom. And then she had a pajama pant on and a tank top. There was no underclothes. So I took it because they were all bloody. And I felt sad and I wanted to put different clothes on her. I took the pajama pants off. I had a little problem taking the tank top. So she was like this, and I was able to take it out. And then I took that clothes and I put it in the washing machine.
Okay. And did you engage the washing machine at that
I
point?
did.
And then just tell us in regard to the clothes, did you do anything else with the clothes?
Well, once the clothes was washed, I just folded it and I put it in the drawer
In what drawer?
in the dresser.
In Christine's dresser?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Now, okay, so now we're on Monday, all right,
Yes.
December 2nd, okay? And you were in Myrtle Avenue, okay? And I'm going to call your attention to the time frame about 1 p.m. Were you still in the apartment?
Yes.
Okay, and did anything happen around 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happened.
So I was sitting in the bed trying to gain my. I wanted to dress Christine, but I didn't have the. I don't know the strength to do it, the courage to go back inside the bathroom. So I sat on the bed, and I heard somebody knocking on the door.
Did you answer the door?
No, I freaked out.
What'd you do?
I just waited. I didn't even look to see who he was. So I waited a few minutes. The knocking stopped. So I freaked out and I said to myself, "It's time to leave." So I grabbed my. I went outside. I turned the car on.
Which car, sir?
I went outside and I turned the Nissan on.
Okay.
Hey,
I
Southern.
went back inside the apartment. I grabbed my backpack, and then I got back in the car. And then I left. Then I left.
And where did you go?
Then I drove directly to my parents' house in New
And-
Haven,
And what was the address in New Haven?
105 First Avenue.
Okay. Now, uh, and you returned to your parents' house, and did you stay at your parents' house?
I did.
Okay. Do you know somebody named Jody Jacobellis?
Yes.
Just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury who Jody Jacobellis is.
She was Christine's brother's girlfriend at the time,
Okay. And what's Christine's brother's name?
Steven.
Okay. Did you have any interaction while you were in New Haven with Jody Jacobellis or Stephen Holloway?
I did.
Just tell ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happened.
So when I got to my parents' house, I went directly into the room downstairs and I didn't come out. I was there pretty much all day. I helped my mom carry some baskets upstairs or whatever.
Hey, Bleak Buddy. Bleak Buddy said this is very common with PCP. I heard hundreds of stories like this from PCP. People attack their own children. I believe it. I believe it.
And then in the afternoon, I went upstairs to my pops was making soup. So he called me. He said if I wanted a bowl of
Objection, Your Honor, is what someone said.
Sustained.
Yeah, just listen to the question.
Okay.
Did you have any interaction with Jody Jacobellis or Stephen Holloway?
I did.
And tell us what happened in regard to that interaction.
So I was upstairs, and somebody knocked on the door, and my mom or my pops, one of them answered the door, and it was Jody.
Okay. Did you speak with her at that point?
She spoke to my
No, just yes or no. Did you speak to her at that point?
yes.
Okay, great. All right. Now, Did there come a point where Jody Jacobellis and Stephen Holloway left?
Yes,
Okay. And then just after that, and I don't want you to say what anyone else say, but were you contacted by the Ansonia Police Department?
yes,
Did you speak to the officer from the Ansonia Police Department?
I did.
Okay. Now, and you never left 105 First Avenue on Monday the 2nd, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now I want to go into the following day, okay, which would have been Tuesday, December 3rd, sir.
Okay.
Okay, tell us what happened on Tuesday, December 3rd.
Well, very early in the morning, the Ansonia police and the New Haven police were in my parents' house.
Okay, and what happened after the police arrived?
They my pops answered the door. He let them in. They asked if I could go, if I wanted to
Objection,
go.
Your Honor, as to what someone
Sustained.
said.
Well, I went to the.
Just stop for a second. Just stop for a second. Just tell us on the early morning of Tuesday, December 3rd, you said the police came. What did you do next?
I went upstairs and went in a ride with them to the Ansonia Police Department.
You went on a ride to the Ansonia
Yes.
Police Department. You voluntarily went with them.
Yes,
Okay, and you were up at the Ansonia Police Department for approximately how long?
probably 40 minutes to an hour.
Okay, great. And then after you were up at the Ansonia Police Department, you were questioned up there?
I was.
Okay, and then what happened after you were up in the Ansonia Police Department?
They took me back to my parents' house.
Okay, and we saw the video, and that's when they took your clothes and your phones.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you went back to your parents' house, correct?
Yes,
Right, and we saw the video clip of the return of you with your mom and dad at 105 First Avenue, correct?
that's correct.
Okay. And we're done with that, okay?
Okay.
Am I correct that you were subsequently arrested?
Yes.
Okay, now, last page, we're almost done, okay?
Okay.
Now, did you, sir, and we'll go through it day by day in a second, but did you have continued interaction with the police department after your arrest?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to call your attention first to Thursday, December 5th. Where were you held in custody?
On Whaley Avenue.
Okay. And did investigators come and talk to you on Thursday, December 5th?
Yes.
Okay. And you voluntarily talked to them at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go further now. Do you recall on Thursday, December 2nd, do you recall that you were still at Whaley Avenue in North Haven?
Yes.
In New Haven?
New Haven.
What date, Attorney Captain?
That would be Thursday, December 12th.
12, you said the second.
I'm sorry, Thursday, December 12th, correct? And you were still at Whaley Avenue at that point?
I was.
Yeah, and do you know who Detective Stephen Adcox is?
Yes.
Okay, did you meet with Detective Adcox?
I did.
And that was voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay, and did you talk to him at that time?
I did.
What did you tell Detective Adcox in summary? You don't have to go through every single word, but did you talk to him?
Yes, I did. I told them about how I have been smoking the PCP throughout the weekend.
Okay. Sir, were you able to interact with your mom, Lydia De Jesus, while you were incarcerated?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to call your attention to December 15th. Did you have communication with your mom?
I did.
Okay. And were you using your mom as the conduit to the police?
I was.
All right. Now I'm going to go forward, okay, to Tuesday, December 17th. Did Detective Adcox come back and interview you again?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And what did you tell Detective Adcox regarding Christine Holloway?
Well, I told them that I was getting my memory back, that the PCP was winding down, leaving the system. So now all my recollection of what had happened is coming back more clear. And I started telling him about everything that I said here.
Okay. And I can't testify for you, but what did you tell Detective Adcox about what happened at 6.5 Myrtle?
I told them about the guys that were coming towards the apartment.
Okay. Did you tell him the entire story like you just told us?
Well, I told them the pieces that I remember at the time.
Okay. And did you indicate that you had been using PCP at that time?
I did.
All right. Now, we're going to go to the following week, okay? Were you
Hey, Lisa,
relocated
Miss
at that point from Whaley Avenue?
I was.
Okay, and just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, where were you?
I was moved to Cheshire Correctional Facility.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to call your attention to Monday, December 23rd, just 2 days before Christmas. Were you interviewed by Detective Adcox?
I was.
Okay, and did you continue to tell him what happened in regard to Christine Holloway?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Okay. And then, sir, I'm going to go past Christmas into 2020, okay? Do you have a recollection of your mom coming to visit you?
Yes,
Okay. And do you know if that was recorded, that interview?
it was.
Okay. And you knew it was recorded, correct?
I didn't know it was recorded while it was happening.
Okay, that's fine. And did you have discussions with your mom in regard to what happened at 6.5?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And was it your understanding your mom would relay that information to Detective Adcox?
Yes,
Okay. And now, just a couple more, sir. We're in 2020 now, okay? Do you recall Detective Adcox on Tuesday, January 21st, 2020? Do you recall Detective Adcox coming up to speak with you at Cheshire Correction at that point?
yes,
And sir, all of these interviews that you had with the police, they were voluntary, correct?
yes, they were.
You signed a notice of rights form. You didn't have to talk to them, but you agreed to go ahead and provide information to them.
Yes,
Okay. And then when Detective Adcox came to Cheshire on Tuesday, January 21st, 2020, did you continue to discuss with him what happened in regard to Christine Holloway?
I did. I used to, I told my mom to call him and have him come see me because my memory was coming back.
Okay. And as time was going by, was your memory coming back?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no other questions. Thank you. Mr. Stein may have a question or two.
All right.
We're gonna need a recess, right? So
Oh, I know he does.
It's gonna be a little bit longer than usual for me to get on to go.
All right, well, we'll take our 15-minute break and hopefully that'll be enough time. Time is 11:11.
Of course.
Moving to our 15 morning recess. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are going to recess. It may be a little bit longer than that, but we're going to at least do our 15-minute break, okay? Court stands.
I don't understand why we got to get a break right now. We were kind of on a roll. Yeah. I'm trying to find my pen. Excuse me. Well, dang it. I had there's, okay. Hazel, you can't eat the paper. Okay, so let's go. I guess we'll finish watching the Kohburger stuff that we were watching yesterday. Kohburger highlights while we wait. Let me pull this up on my phone so I can see just as soon as they come back. Okay. Hey, down. Okay, this is the one we were watching, so we'll continue watching this about Brian Kohburger. The judge is smoking in the girls' room. Oh, did the prosecutor?
And what he says that he's going to say.
I'll back it up just a little bit. Yeah, the prosecutor asked for a break because he's about to tear that ass wide open, in my opinion. He is adorable. I love him so much. He's my little fluffy bunny. Him's a big baby.
Those things in between.
Now, Ashley Jennings says this shouldn't even be up for discussion.
Judge, this is pretty simple. Shane Cox and Mike Douglas, since he gets brought up, they're fact witnesses. They're not going to have opinions. They review records. They're going to testify to what those records show. Shane Cox's testimony is laid out in the supplemental amended disclosure. This is exactly what he's going to testify to. And what he's going to say, he's very careful and what he says that he's going to say. That's what we're anticipating. There is no grounds to exclude his testimony. We applied for and we were granted a search warrant for Brian Kohburger's Amazon.com user activity. The search warrant was narrow in scope to items related to the homicide and evidence related to the seizing of knives. In this case, it was knives and knife accessories. It directed law enforcement to see certain items, his customer click activity pertaining to knives and accessories, his payment methods used, details of items in cart, including all items added to the cart or removed from the cart or wish listed or in a shopping basket, all suggestions made to the account, all records regarding reviews by other Amazon users, advertising data, devices used to connect to the account. And
Veronica, y'all make it run smoothly. I love our conversation and our chat. Y'all keep me laughing and make it great. Thank you. As far as I know, it's for Tuesday at 11:15, and I will be streaming it. That's what I know so far.
And all accounts linked to the account. The state requested the data between limited time periods, March 20th to March 30th, and November 1st to December 6th. Those were the relevant time periods. And in response, we got responsive data, and that's what we plan on presenting to the jury. Amazon's use of AI is not a basis to exclude, and it's completely irrelevant. AI doesn't click on things for a user. There are no legal grounds to exclude this.
But listen to this. We learned something new about how the state claims Brian Kohburger bought this K-bar knife, and it came from Judge Hippler.
Special Agent Douglas's testimony, that seems to have shifted a bit from he's going to talk about bank records and debit purchases, and it's become bigger without any opinion. I don't know what his opinion about anything will be. That needs to be limited. I think he can come in and talk
through the financial records and say, this shows a transaction with Mr. Kohburger's credit card to purchase a Amazon gift card, and that this Amazon gift card was used to purchase a knife.
If he can say all of those things, I think that his ability to talk about receiving the bank record and looking at it and saw a purchase history, I think that's fine. But to provide an opinion about what that means, that's not disclosed. Well, Your Honor, I don't want to wait to find out. I'm asking the court to.
My point is I'm not in a position to exclude their testimony because they haven't shown me that they're offering something beyond what they've disclosed.
So the state is going to prove that Brian Kohburger bought an Amazon gift card and then used it to buy the knife. That's their claim. Now, remember when I told you that Brian Kohburger claimed his alibi was that he was out driving the night of the murders and that
I mean, I didn't mean to pause it right there, but like, even if he bought a gift card and used that to buy the K-bar knife, like, did he think that that wouldn't be traced? I mean, it doesn't matter if you buy it on your account. I mean, like with your credit card or with a gift card, it's still going to go back to you, your IP address, even if you were to use like a fake account, a fake Amazon account to make the purchase and a gift card to make that purchase, it's still going to come back to your IP address or a library, and they're going to see you there. I mean, it's still going to connect back to you. Who bought the gift card? That's going to be on your credit card. Like, really? I mean, it was well thought out, but not in today's world with all the technology we have, in my opinion.
and that he did that often to go to a park and look at the stars. Well, the state says that doesn't qualify as an alibi, but Ann Taylor says it does partially.
Mr. Kohburger has consistently maintained his innocence and said that he was out driving in the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022.
And he can testify to that.
I'm going to get to that. We provided Mr. Ray as a partial corroboration of Mr. Kohburger's alibi in an abundance of caution. The thing I didn't want was to be here with Mr. Thompson saying they should have told us they had a partial corroboration. Now they can't use it. So that's why we disclosed Mr. Ray as early as we possibly could. Mr. Ray took the stand in a motion hearing last May, I believe, and the state chose not to cross-examine him. I disagree that Mr. Judge gave us repeated opportunities to produce more. There was a mix-up about what an order meant when speedy trial was waived and the trial was reset and all of the deadlines were extended.
The problem is Idaho requires someone to have a witness who can vouch for an alibi, and Kohburger hasn't provided that.
Well,
Hey, Chaz, good to see you. We are on break from court. When we get back, the prosecution's about to tear Jose Morales a new asshole, which his story, I mean, even watching him drive around in the cars, right? Like originally he stated it wasn't even, or they led on like it wasn't even him in the cars, because the defense was like, you didn't see Jose Morales specifically driving that vehicle, correct? And then they were like, no, but it was his car. But then they played the video where he's driving all over hell and half of Georgia, and every single time he says he's driving. So like, I don't even know. Like, he has screwed himself so bad. So bad. A word to the wise, useless. Unless technology doesn't exist in your area, do not commit a crime because you're going to get caught, dumbass. Exactly. I mean, there's just no point. Like, damn, just stop it.
we knew the defendant was out driving around. We have other evidence that show the defendant was out driving around. His phone was turned off, so we can't trace his exact location at the time of the offenses, but it overlaps and coincides with the time of the murders. The can's been kicked down the road several times on this, and it's nobody's fault. Judge afforded the defendant multiple opportunities to provide a compliant alibi response. That never occurred. The defendant's response from earlier this year doesn't have anything new or different. It talks about partial corroboration of a partial alibi, which frankly, the statute doesn't talk about partial anything, nor can we find that in the case law. The defendant acknowledges that their cell phone expert, Mr. Ray, can't account for the time of the homicides itself. Of course, we know that because his phone was turned off. So the only person who can testify to an alibi, if there is an alibi, is the defendant himself. If he elects to testify, that's fine.
So the only person that Brian Kohburger has testifying about his partial alibi at this point is his cell phone expert, Cy Ray.
Your Honor, the notion of partial corroboration of the alibi is concerning because that kind of begs the question between complying with the alibi disclosure statute or not. And
why shouldn't we just look at this in terms of the defendant's version is that Mr. Ray, in his expert work, is going to testify the defendant was at a certain place at a certain time, which is up to 2:50, whatever it was. As of this point, they have provided no other alibi witness.
Yes, sir.
Or the alibi instruction likely is not going to be given.
Yes, sir.
If they come across evidence that supports an alibi, is their obligation to immediately make you and the court aware of it? And then we'll deal with the issue of whether it is the timeliness of it and how we deal with it.
Thank you, Your Honor. The court articulated it much better than I could. That's exactly what we were looking for. Thank you.
So you heard it. As of now, Brian Kohburger does not have an alibi, but that could always change. Now let's get back to Kohburger's cell phone expert, Cy Ray. He has accused prosecutors of withholding timing advance records for Kohburger's cell phone, but prosecutors say they've done no such thing, and Judge Hippler was not happy.
I'm not upset, but I just for Mr. Ray's information, because he wasn't here the first day I started this trial with you folks. I said, I don't want theatrics. I don't want accusations that aren't supported with evidence about supposed bad conduct of the parties. You're all professionals. I respect you all. And the accusations he made in there are very concerning. The kinds of accusations, if true, that would get people disbarred. And so without any evidence and apparently sidestepping the clear explanation, he makes those. And so that doesn't make me happy.
Now, there have been a lot of questions about whether Brian Kohburger knew or ever encountered the 4 victims. His attorneys have said there was no social media connection. Well, Judge Hippler has gone beyond that. Take a listen.
We've watched a lot of the video that's contained on that server. Also on that server are vast amounts of bank records, vast amounts of cell phone for all of the people that Ms. Jennings mentioned, the deceased and people close to them and other people.
They've indicated that their experts have examined that and found no connection between Mr. Kohburger and the decedents.
I'm grateful to have recently learned that. I mean, that's what we believed, but that was in that March disclosure when they said that they'd examined those, and those were computers, the 7 computers, I believe. It's that kind of thing that takes a lot of time.
So Hippler is saying no connection has been found between the victims and Kohburger when examining computers. This raises the question, if there's no connection, what could possibly be the motive in this case? There is a lot more to discuss, and we will on the next episode of Crime Fix.
I think that he wanted to try to commit the perfect murder. There's a really good movie about things like that. It's called Murder by Numbers. It was one of my favorite movies. It goes into that, just kids trying to commit the perfect homicide. And I think that's what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to basically play out the movie Murder by Numbers, but he did it by himself. I heard that Lori Daybell rested yesterday, so let's see. It says Lori Daybell visits Walgreens moments after her husband's homicide.
This Walgreens at 785 South Cooper Road is the one from which I eventually obtained video.
Hold on.
And we see it's arriving around 8:16 in the morning.
Did you go to that other Walgreens?
I did not go to that other Walgreens.
I think so.
Did you call them?
I did not.
So you picked the right one. You called this Walgreens. Were you able to see that the phone was there for a while?
Yes.
Yep.
And did that give you a clue that this was the Walgreens that might have some relevant information?
More likely, correct.
So we see those red dots again identified as Charles Vallow's iPhone, the GPS data that was extracted from it. And we see that his phone is in that area around 8:08.
Well, it moves to that area. So at 8:08, it was at the one on Lindsay. And then from 8:08 to 8:17, it moves up to the one on Cooper. And that's where we are now, is at around 8:17.
And we can tell that from the up on the left-hand corner.
The slider up top. Yep.
Okay. So then you went to that Walgreens after you confirmed and you obtained video from them?
That's right.
And is this the video?
This is the video. You can see the timestamp at 8:16 as she walks in.
Yeah.
And then I think we can advance to the next. So these are just multiple views that they had. The video at the door was motion activated, so I don't control when it starts or ends. Those are the clips that they had.
So she's buying 2 pairs of flip-flops.
As indicated in the receipt.
And she got cash back? Oh, no. They're giving her change, so she must have paid with cash. Looks like for the kids.
So you'll see on their timestamp, we're now up to 8:20, and the transaction is completed.
Okay, and now we'll go to, I'm going to see, this is a playlist, but I'm going to see what they've got. It was updated 51 minutes ago. I don't know if it'll play the most.
More key witnesses took the stand to.
It doesn't tell me if this one was like how long ago it was, but I suppose we'll watch it.
Today, in the so-called Doomsday Mom murder trial, Lori Vallow accused of conspiring with her brother to kill her ex-husband.
The state is close to. So we'll hear all of it because I was talking. I apologize.
Witnesses took the stand today in the so-called Doomsday Mom murder trial. Lori Vallow accused of conspiring with her brother to kill her ex-husband.
The state is close to wrapping up its case. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum brings us the latest from the courtroom.
18 witnesses have testified against Lori Vallow Daybell, 3 more to go, and we know they will be representing the Chandler Police Department. An overwhelming amount of evidence has been shown to the jury so far, including newly released surveillance video of Lori at Walgreens. Just after 8 in the morning on July 11th, 2019, Vallow Daybell is seen here walking into a Chandler Walgreens. She buys 2 pairs of flip-flops, following a stop at a Burger King drive-thru to get food for her 7-year-old son, JJ Vallow, just before 8 a.m. Her daughter, Tylee Ryan, was with her for the ride as well. Months before, Lori would kill her 2 kids in Idaho. These quick errands are done after her husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed by Lori's brother, Alex Cox, in the Vallow's Chandler home. Lori never calls 911, and witnesses have described her demeanor after the shooting as nonchalant. She also had Charles's phone with her, which helped police track locations by GPS along with her own phone. Detective Eric.
She was very nonchalant in that video, going to Walgreens, buying food for the babies and getting flip-flops right after her husband's murdered. Like, I don't know, ma'am. Charles was sexy, and he had every chance of finding love again before that bitch sucked her claws into him. And I'm glad that she didn't get the life insurance. I really am.
Ariel Werther testified to this timeline, but when Lori got her chance to cross-examine him, she was scolded by the judge for inquiring about Charles's dating life.
And then on the next day, there was another date scheduled with a Jennifer Gilbert at 12 o'clock.
That sounds correct.
And then the next day, there was another date scheduled with a Juliet at 10 a.m.
And obviously trying to smear the victim.
All right, the objection sustained.
Detective, did you find searches for these dates for my husband back
Hold
to?
on.
If we can do a sidebar.
Sustained.
This is a different question,
No,
Your Honor.
what-
They just came back, but we've got like 42 seconds to watch of this, so we'll watch this.
Whether he went on dates or had dates scheduled is not relevant to this case. Ask another question. You can ask about the date of the person that testified the night before because that person was in here and had some relevant information. But other than that, any of these other questions are not relevant.
To watch everything that's unfolded in trial, including
So that's interesting, talking about his dating life. They just came back. They haven't started testifying. He's just kind of standing in the witness box. So let's jump over here real quick. All right. Hey, Colleen.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Oh my
Mr. Morales,
gosh.
you may be seated. Thank you.
Really, Cara?
Welcome back, members of the jury. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of our jurors.
Stipulate to the presence of the jury, Your Honor.
Yes, Your
All right.
Honor.
Thank you so much. Our Attorney Stein, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, good morning, Mr. Morales. How are you?
Good morning.
So we are talking about December of 2019, and we are currently now in April of 2025. You've had 5+ years to sit back and to think about this case, haven't you?
I have.
And in fact, during that time,
And you couldn't come up with a better story.
and you had time to sit here and draw this map, which you labeled Defendant's D. Right? You drew this map for your lawyers, right?
I did.
You put all these directions of travel of various vehicles. You put those on this map, didn't you?
It's so sad, Glitter.
Can you keep your voice up so I can hear you, please, sir?
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
did.
And so let's just look at this map that you drew.
I don't know.
Are you telling the ladies and gentlemen of this jury that you were standing on the front porch of 6.5 Myrtle, and you saw this car go down and make a right on Cottage Ave while standing on the front porch of 6.5 Myrtle?
No, I'm not saying that.
You have arrows there, don't you?
Yeah, but those arrows is not what that represents.
What do the arrows
Yep.
represent?
Those arrows
I agree.
represent, when I drew this map, those arrows represent the direction that the police officer took when he did his, when he responded to the 911 call.
How did you know that?
Because I know it.
How?
Because I learned it
How?
from the report.
What report? There was no report provided to the defense of that officer until just before this trial.
Objection, Your Honor. Now, Mr.
I know that for years.
I'll sustained as to what was provided to the defense as part of the question.
So these arrows are depicting, then what are these arrows depicting then over on the other side of Cottage Avenue? What are those arrows depicting?
That's when the officer first went, answered the call. He went up Judson, then he took a right on Myrtle. He went all the way down Myrtle, all the way to the end, and then he came back. And on his way back, he took a left on West Street, and then he took a right on Cottage.
So this map, you drew this map to show that the direction of travel of the police officer who responded to the 911 call?
I believe so.
What was the purpose of that?
I just drew it.
Okay. How about defense D? You had time to draw this one out too, right?
Yes.
So that you could narrate your testimony that you gave to the defense, right?
Well, that's the inside of the apartment, yes.
You used this as a script, did you not, to help narrate your testimony for these people over here?
Well, I wanted them to know exactly how everything is placed inside the apartment, yes.
Your Honor, if I ask a yes or no question, could you instruct the witness to answer my question, yes or no? That's what it calls for.
I'll do so. Do you want me to strike the balance of the question
Please.
after? All right, so I will strike everything after yes, and I will instruct you, Mr. Morales, if the question does call for a yes or no answer, simply answer yes or no, okay? Thank you.
So, thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Morales, you drew this diagram to help you narrate the story that you told these folks here. Isn't that true?
I drew the,
Calls for a yes or no answer?
yes, yes.
Thank you.
With regard to the story that you told these people,
Objection to the form of the question.
Sustained.
with regard to what you testified to, let's start off with, I want to take you back on your timeline. Withdrawn. Mr. Morales, do you consider yourself a controlling person?
Not really.
Is that a yes or a no?
No,
Do you consider yourself an emotionally abusive person to Christine Holloway?
no.
Would you ever call her names?
Sometimes,
Sometimes?
yeah.
Okay. How often would you call her names?
I don't know. Sometimes when she called me names, we call each other names.
All right. What kind of names did you call her?
He's establishing the hostility he had toward Christine.
My love.
That's an abusive name?
Oh, abusive?
That's what Mr. Speculating is in my phone.
I don't remember anything right now.
Do you ever recall calling her a pig?
Oh.
I do.
You do recall calling her a pig?
Yes.
That would happen from time to time, wouldn't it?
It depends what she was talking about.
Okay. Do you recall whether you would accuse her of withdrawn? Did you trust Christine Holloway?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Was there any point in time that you accused Christine Holloway of being unfaithful to you?
Probably.
Probably.
It's
How many
possible.
times?
We worked together for 3 years.
How many times, Mr. Morales, would you accuse her of being unfaithful to you?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Do you recall having such a conversation with her just days prior to Thanksgiving of 2019?
Probably.
You do recall it?
I don't recall it, but it's possible.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. Showing you, Mr. Morales, what's 177 is the full exhibit. So I'm going to zoom in. Do you recall that these are the testimony of the person who authenticated this was the iMessages between your iPad and Christine Holloway's iPhone. Do you recall it?
I do.
And in fact, showing you what's been marked states 176 as a full exhibit. Do you recognize what this is?
It's the iPad.
This is the iPad that was collected from your house at 105 First Avenue, correct?
Yes.
This is the iPad that you share with Isaac, your son.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Isaac in 2019 was 11 years old.
That's
Recall
correct.
that?
Yes.
So now with regard to these conversations, let's start at the top. Does this appear to be Christine asking you not to be mad at her because she's been asking you for help with the car, her car?
Well, not her car. She was using my car since late spring 2019.
She's asking you, please help me with car and don't be mad. Which car is she referring to?
The car that I let her use my car.
So your car is what she's complaining about.
Yes, because she was using it.
Okay. And she then asks you, I wish you could transfer money from the account for rent. She was asking you to help pay the rent.
I did.
She asked you to help to pay the rent at 6.5 Myrtle.
Yeah, we paid the rent together.
Because your daughter lived there.
That's right.
And you lived there on the weekends.
That's right.
So you would logically help with the rent.
Yes.
She then, at some point, still on November 14th of 2019, she seems to be a little mad. I can't believe you couldn't even say hi or goodbye to your daughter. Do you recall that?
I see it. I don't recall it. I see it.
Okay. And then there's a response from Isaac Morales 100 at iCloud.com. Now you will agree with me that is you responding, correct?
I believe so, yes.
It's not Isaac responding, is it?
No.
All right. And you say you want to keep giving money away to rich companies like the gym, so pretty soon you'll drain all of your savings. And then you say hi to Vanessa for me. Were you being sarcastic there?
No.
So let me get this right. She's asking you to help with a car. She's asking you for money for rent. And your first response is, no, I'm going to send you the rent later on. You're chastising her because she's paying the gym membership?
Not only a gym membership, a million other things.
It's her money, correct?
Our money.
Your money. Tell these people about the job you were working at that time.
At the time, I was unemployed, but I was doing a lot of jobs, side jobs, and construction, landscaping, home improvement.
She was earning the money to pay for the support of that family, wasn't she?
No, we were doing it together.
How much money were you making at that time, Mr. Morales?
Well, I was averaging between $500-$600 a week.
Okay. And $500 or $600 a week, were you supporting your other two children back home at 105 First Avenue?
I was helping, yes.
Were you paying your mother rent for 105 First Avenue?
I was trying, helping.
Didn't you tell the officers in one of the videos that the jury saw the other day about how stressed out you were? You had no job, you had no money, everybody, was taking care of you and your kids. Did you not say that on the videotape the other day?
Well,
I'm going to object not to the question, but the manner and the histrionics that the state's attorney is going through here. Certainly he has a right to ask whatever questions, but he doesn't have the right to go ahead and be demonstrative like he is.
All right, so we'll just keep in mind courtroom demeanor. Attorney Stein, go ahead, you may continue.
Did you not say to the officers that went back to your house when they gave you the notification of Christine's death that it's a stressful time in your life and you agreed with everything?
Yes, it was. I wasn't making much money, and it was split in many different directions, so it was stressful.
So, Christine responds to you, I stopped there last night, and she canceled her gym membership for you.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's what he says, yes.
Do you disagree that she canceled her gym membership because you had been on her about it?
Well, we were budgeting.
Yes or no question?
Yes.
She then goes on. Does she go on to tell you, I miss you, hun. I wait all week to see you for a few days, and then those days go by in a blink of an eye. My dream for us to live together with the kids, and you could work from home, and I could take care of the kids. I miss my family. She loves you.
I agree.
You don't respond to that right away, right?
Probably didn't see it yet.
She then tells you, we're still on the same day, November the 14th. She's not having a good day. And she tells you further, or shows you, she sends you a video file of Vanessa screaming and running around playing.
I see.
Remember getting the video?
Yes.
And you still haven't responded to her yet, because your next response to her is from the Isaac 100 account. Forward me the email that says your gym membership is canceled. Is that what you wrote?
That's what is there.
So after she tells you, I'm having a bad day, she sends you a video file of your daughter. You are still obsessing on her gym membership and the way she uses her money.
Objection to the form.
What you don't see in there is the
few days goes by. This is now November 20th, right? We're about 8 days before Thanksgiving. And you send her a message. Where are you? You see that here?
I see it.
That's a Wednesday, right? Would you know
Yeah,
that?
yes, it is.
So you're only there on the weekends, correct?
Yes.
So this is a Wednesday. She's out somewhere with Vanessa, and you're demanding to know where she is?
I'm not demanding, I'm just asking.
Several days later, on the 21st, you call her a stupid ass, telling her your stupid ass is mad because I told you to keep an eye open because I dropped a pill in the house. Fuck you, I care for Vanessa. Did you type those words?
I did.
I asked you earlier whether you were controlling. Do you recall that?
Yes, I recall it.
I asked you earlier if you were emotionally abusive. Do you recall that?
I do.
You denied both of those things, didn't you?
Yes, and I still deny them.
Page 4 of this exhibit. Did Isaac Morales, that's you, right? You're sending this out, correct?
Yes.
On 11/22, so now that's 6 days before Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes, Friday.
You are acting very stupid lately. I really wonder if you are seeing someone else or starting to talk to another guy. I am very serious about this. For a while already, you have been acting very different, and you know the act.
All
Did
right.
you write that?
I did.
That's 6 days before Thanksgiving.
I spent the weekend with her that weekend.
And what was her response to you? She writes back to you, no one else loved you.
All right.
She loves you.
She did.
Yes, she did. She says to you, don't give up on me. God is going to help us through everything and provide for us. She will change. She said that to you, right?
She said God will help us and provide for us.
She is going to change for you.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, apparently, she felt that you would know what she meant when that she was going to change. Presumably something you didn't like, right?
Where are you? What are you talking about? I don't see what you're talking
Hold
about.
on, Mr. Morales. Excuse me, counsel. I'm going to strike your last question. I'm going to ask that you put the exhibit in full screen because we can't read the portion to which you're
sorry.
referring.
Where my highlighter is, don't give up on me. God is going to help us through everything and provide for us. I will change.
Okay, we all need improvement.
We all need improvement.
Yes.
And she caps it off with, for what it's worth, I love you. Right?
I see it.
And you don't respond to her.
Is there a question?
Yes, Your Honor. Because the very next message from her about,
That's the 22nd.
okay,
You're not letting us see the date.
okay, oh, I'm getting there, Mr. Morales. She tells you, thought we were in this together and we took care of each other. I see now I was wrong. I will do money tonight and look at the website for a car. told that to you?
The days are out of whack.
Do you deny saying that to her or
No.
receiving that message from her?
I don't deny receiving it. But
Top of the next page. I can see now how you feel about me. Do you recall reading that one on November the 23rd of 2019?
I see it. I don't recall reading it.
Do you dispute that it says you read it, or the iPad, Isaac Morales' iPad, read it at 11:23, 2019 at 10:55 p.m.?
I don't dispute that.
Two days later, the iPad says, fuck you. Was that you or Isaac sending that?
That was me.
Why exactly were you telling her that she should do that to herself?
Well, there's a lot of conversations and phone calls and video on FaceTime that you don't see in here. So you see is a little text once in a while, and you don't know what's happening in between.
Ms. Morales, did you just not tell these people on direct from your lawyer what a great, loving time this was?
Excuse me.
I never said that.
Sustained. All right, can I see council sidebar, please? Thank you.
You know, AM, you pointed out that there was other male DNA found, and maybe she was. I don't know. It's hard because a lot of women in the chat, myself included, have been in relationships where
Morales,
abusive like that. So I don't know.
did you testify on direct?
I mean, you're correct,
Wonderful
though.
time you had with
Very
your
possible.
family on the Wednesday preceding Thanksgiving.
Hey, Craig.
I did.
And you painted a rosy picture, did you not, of decorating trees? You were doing a holiday. This was just a great time for you and your family, including Christine and Vanessa.
It was.
I'm glad you're okay too, love.
Did you follow up on 11/25 at 11/16 with this stupid relationship is done?
That's what it looks like.
So that is 3 days before Thanksgiving, and you're pronouncing the end of the relationship.
Trash talk. That's what it is.
Okay. Isn't it true that in the days leading up to Thanksgiving, Vanessa was sick?
I'm not sure. I believe she had a little cold.
Are you aware that Christine took her to the doctor to be examined?
Yes.
Are you aware Christine went to CVS to get her medication?
Yes.
Are you aware that Christine wasn't sleeping at that time leading up to Thanksgiving weekend because Vanessa was coughing all night?
She was sleeping, and I'm aware that Vanessa was a little sick.
So you're saying that Christine was getting rest and she was getting sleep at that time? Is that what you're saying?
That's
Go,
what
honey.
I'm saying, yes.
Catch me outside.
Christine tells you on the 27th that she's taking her to the doctor now. You recall that?
I do.
Did she advise you she was calling CVS?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Queen.
On page 6 now, I want to take you to the top here. This appears 11/28 of 2019, correct?
Yes.
3:30 in the morning, correct?
Yes.
So now this is now Thursday, Thanksgiving, early morning hours of Thanksgiving Day, correct?
Yes.
And you had testified on direct about all the wonderful things that had occurred on Wednesday prior to this point in time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you are apparently up, is it safe to say, at 3:30 in the morning, you're up and you're texting to
Yep.
Christine and you're
Twitter.
saying, hey, as in, what's going on?
I'm downstairs, she's upstairs, yes.
Christine responds to you and says, hey, she was having a hard time breathing, but is better now. Do you recall it?
Yes.
So Christine's telling you Vanessa is having a hard time breathing.
All right.
I'm asking you.
That's what she said.
And you sound concerned. Are you okay? You ask.
Abraham.
Yes.
All that?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's no response to your inquiry. And so you say, hey, again. Do you recall that?
I do.
Christine responds now, a few minutes after that, yeah, going back to sleep while I can. Do you recall her saying that?
Yes.
Does that answer imply to you, what does while I can mean to you?
Means that she's going to try to get some sleep before she has to wake up again and feed Vanessa or feed Vanessa most likely.
Okay, so Christine was still nursing Vanessa at this point in Vanessa's life.
Yes.
You responded, okay, right? You acknowledge that.
Yes.
You then, 1 minute after that, said, I went back out and I think my mom got me. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
Where did you go, Mr. Morales?
My mom didn't like me to smoke cigarettes, so I go outside and smoke, and sometimes I try to hide it from her.
I'm sorry, sometimes what?
I try to hide me smoking cigarettes from my mom.
It's 3:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Your mom's patrolling the hallways to see if you're smoking cigarettes?
No, she caught me smoking a cigarette.
Do you think that Christine's response to you that you're stupid and that you need to stop?
Yes.
Do you think Christine is chastising you at 3:30 in the morning over the fact that you're smoking cigarettes?
Well, this is funny. It's a funny conversation. She is calling me, you stupid. She didn't want me to smoke either. She didn't smoke cigarettes.
Mr. Morales, you made a comment yesterday on Direct that you equated the PCP that you supposedly smoked to being like 1,000 gallons of vodka. Do you remember that?
I say 1 gallon.
1 gallon of vodka.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your recollection. 1 gallon of vodka. So are you telling me that you have a basis of knowing what it's like to drink a gallon of vodka?
No, but I have an idea what it might probably feels like.
So when you made the comparison, then had you ever drinking a gallon of vodka before?
Not a whole gallon.
You like to drink, Mr. Morales, isn't that true?
I did.
There were vodka bottles. Are you aware of the vodka bottles in the closet in the bathroom?
I collected them, yes.
Collected them.
Yes.
Dubrov, is that what it was?
Yes, the small one.
Small ones.
Yes, empty ones. I collect them.
Empty.
Yeah.
In the stuff back in the closet.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
For a purpose, not just for no reason.
I understand completely.
Can I see counsel at the bench, please? Sidebar.
The classic one said society still hasn't fully accepted or taken seriously that men can also be victims of domestic violence. Long story, however, this needs to change. And yes, men often will suffer in silence. That's absolutely correct. My heart goes out to anyone who's suffered. And if you ever need to talk, you can email me.
Attorney Stein. We're having a reporter issue, I believe.
If you ever need to talk, you can email me. There's also domestic violence hotline. I think it's 88088. You can text. I'm not sure. It's an easy Google search.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much, Tom. He drinks and uses drugs, but complains that she's going to the gym after just having a baby. Like, it's so sad because you can tell that she really loved him and he didn't. He wanted to hit it and quit it and got her pregnant. And that poor baby, I mean, I question whether he ever cared for her at all. It's really sad. Lord of mercy.
All right, we're going to stand in a brief recess, allow the court reporter to see what's going on with the equipment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Lord of mercy. Okay, I'll pull this up. What can we look at? Well, I know what we'll look at first. Wow, since we were just talking about it. If you are experiencing domestic violence and you need help, you can email me. You can call 800-799-7233, or you can text the word begin to 88788. You can also click chat. You can go to the website. Help is available. Everybody suffers. It does not matter your gender. Miss King of anything, I'll pull this back up. If they take too long, we'll go and watch something. Lord have mercy. Hold on just a second. Goodness. Okay. Miss King of anything said, I'm sure that he would make her feel bad about her body too. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. And that's probably why she wanted to go to the gym. Back now, we're on break. Mine happened with the first boyfriend and the person before my husband. It's been a while, but some things are still triggering. Yeah, I get it. I've been in bad relationships like that too. My first boyfriend, I got a long story. I was actually groomed from the age of 13 by a guy who was like, oh my God, if you were just 18, I swear to God, all these things. And he got me addicted to drugs so he could control me. And it's just a long story, but he was very abusive as well. I understand. Hold on a minute. Basil's trying to get up here. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Oh no, it's okay. I mean, I'm okay now. I mean, I've gotten help. I'm more worried about y'all. Again, if y'all ever need to talk, feel free to email me. So I've got this pulled up on my phone. Let's see, what can we look at? What do y'all want to look at? Basil wants to troll this fool too. Come on up. He does. He was standing, I had this big peep pillow at the foot of my bed. That because he jumps on and off of the bed, and so it makes it where he doesn't have to hit that tile floor. And so he was sitting on that pillow. He'll sit there and wait for me to pull him up or pick him up, put him up so he don't have to jump. Okay, what can we look at? We can look at this. Lori pushes back on witness during testimony. We'll pull that up. I've got law and crime on my phone, so when they come back, I'll jump right back to it.
Detective Duncan, when did you become the case agent?
I believe it was June of 2020.
Okay. And prior to you being the
Oh.
case agent, it was Detective Moffett?
Moffett, yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, Cara, I will. It'll just take me a minute to email it to myself. So we will definitely look at it. Again, we'll look at it. I just have to email it to myself. And I'm going to be watching the chat to see if the judge decides to go to break, go to lunch or whatever.
And was it because
haven't
he
heard
got
about that.
promoted that they made you the case agent over this case? or-
Yes.
Okay. And he's now a lieutenant, is that correct?
Yes, he is.
And so he was the case, was there anyone in between? Was he the case agent the whole time until 2020 when you took over?
Correct.
Tom said, ladies, get away from these abusive, manipulating losers at the first sign of that behavior. Absolutely, because it's not going to get better, no matter how much they tell you it will. They are on break to try to get the court reporter stuff working, and I'm watching Law and Crimes chat because their moderator will, well, I'm watching to see when they come back, but their moderator, if she decides to go ahead and take lunch, will let us know, and then we'll go and come back. Scratch the Paint said, do you have anything about the teenager who was abused by a guy she met online? I think I've seen stuff about that, but no, I haven't got anything myself right now about that. Yeah, we can watch Lori act a fool. Oh, I'm glad you have the classic one. Glad you're doing better.
And when you took over the case, what things did you do differently?
I wouldn't say differently. I continued what I was doing. I was looking at records for him. The records in this case, as you are, there's volumes of records. So continued to look at all of the independent iCloud records, call detail records, phone extractions, and also kind of reviewing what he had done prior to my assignment as well.
Good afternoon. All right, Madam Clerk, if you could please bring our jury back in. Madam Clerk.
I'm talking away.
We all set?
I said I'm surprised she didn't take lunch, but
Okay,
when she
thank you
does
so
take
much.
lunch, we will take lunch too and come back because I'll have to get lunch for the babies.
Counsel, the court reporter has relayed that the proceedings have been recorded. It just wasn't timestamped. So we're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, even if it wasn't, it's being live streamed, so it wouldn't be that hard to go back and check. I mean, get it again.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Everyone may be seated. Counsel, please stipulate to the return of the jury.
Stipulate to the presence of the jury.
Thank you. Sorry for that interruption, ladies and gentlemen. We just wanted to make sure the equipment was properly recording the proceedings, okay? Attorney Stein.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
So just before
Yep.
recess, Mr. Morales, I was asking you about the Dubrow bottles in the closet of your bathroom. Do you recall that?
I do.
And just moments before that, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said that the text message that we were just looking at was referencing that you went outside to have a cigarette, right?
I believe so.
You just pulled the mic.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, do you have a different belief as we sit here now?
No, I don't have a different belief as we sit here now, but I think that's what we're talking about.
Well, if that's what you think we were talking about, then why would you say, I think my mom got me? Did she go out to the front porch and bring you back inside?
No, she probably called me smoking.
That's not what that says, is it? Let me make it bigger for you so you can see it. Here we go. So this, yeah. I went back out and I think my mom got me. Isn't that what that says?
That's what that said.
So now, does that refresh your memory? Did you go out drinking somewhere that night?
I did not went out drinking somewhere that night.
So why would your mom have come and got you?
She got me, I mean it, not meaning that she went to get me, meaning that she caught me.
Oh, okay. And further on in that conversation, when you stop responding, Christine says, I guess you passed out.
Yes.
From cigarettes?
No, from being late night, early in the morning.
So now,
That's what I think. I do
show
here.
you what's been marked States 1 is a full exhibit. Do you recognize this photograph?
I do.
Who are these people?
Christine and Vanessa.
And do you know where this was taken?
I believe so, but not 100% sure. I'm the one that took the picture.
Were you at a pumpkin farm?
Yes.
So it'd be fair to say it's around Halloween time, perhaps?
Yes.
Before the homicide?
So fair to say sometime mid to end October, early November, perhaps?
Perhaps.
So 4 to 6 weeks before Christine is killed.
Yep.
Approximately, yeah.
Now,
Hey, Angie.
with regard to your direct testimony,
I don't know.
let's go through that, if you don't mind, again.
But we will.
You now told us you spent Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That was the day you spent with your family, right? Decorating the house.
Hold on just a minute. Let me get my
And
cap.
then Christine
There we go.
stayed upstairs.
Christine got to my parents' house around 4:30.
She stays upstairs though overnight Wednesday.
Yes.
And with Vanessa.
Yes. Yes.
That's when those text messages took place, right?
That's correct.
And now Thursday, let's go through Thursday again. What happened Thursday?
Thursday, we got up. We helped my mom a little bit in the kitchen, and then we went to Bridgeport to her grandmother's house.
Okay.
Around noon, we left to Bridgeport to her grandmother's house.
Okay. And to finish the day for us on Thursday. What happened on Thursday?
We got back probably 2-3 hours after that, and we were just in the house. Later on, a couple of my nephews showed up. We were all hanging out in the house. That's about it.
Okay. Then Friday, what happens on Friday?
Friday, I get up around 8 o'clock in the morning. I get ready. I go upstairs. I talk to Christine for a little while and Vanessa, play with Vanessa. I run to Planet Fitness. I come to go see what's the status of my a membership that I was trying to get to lose weight because I had gained so much weight. Come back to the house, then we go to Barbarino's.
So Planet Fitness. What did you do at Planet Fitness?
I wanted to check the status of a membership that I had.
From what to what?
It's been canceled forever.
So you wanted to renew your membership?
That was a New Year's resolution to lose weight for the following year.
So
Oh my God.
I just want to be sure.
Oh my God. So he made her cancel her membership because of bills, but he's going to Planet Fitness to renew his? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, I would lose my shit on him.
Understanding you. Christine is canceling her gym membership and you are initiating a new one for yourself. Is that what's happening here?
No.
Yeah.
No, what's happening?
I went to see the status on the membership that I had.
So you drove to Planet Fitness.
Yes.
And you said my membership is in suspension.
That I went to see how it was. Yes.
And now I'd like to reactivate it.
No, I didn't reactivate it.
So you drove all the way to Planet Fitness just to find out what the status of your membership was?
Not all the way. It's around the corner.
The telephone wouldn't work?
Like what? Yeah.
I just went and I just took a ride.
You didn't say on direct, you didn't tell us about the Planet Fitness trip, did you?
I didn't mention it.
No. So now, with regard to that, you come back and what happens next?
We go to Barbarino's.
Now, you said on direct that you were supposed to be at Barbarino's at 12 o'clock, correct?
12:15, yes.
And you're not getting back from Planet Fitness until what time?
It was a 5-10 minute ride.
Okay. So, but it's almost already 12 o'clock.
No, I went upstairs in between 9 and 10. I went to Planet Fitness.
All right. So now, what time did you leave your house to go to Barbarino's?
11:15, 11:30.
And you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that you stopped at a store along the way to buy a Lucy.
Yes.
And yet, in the car ride that you took with Detectives Froelich and Adcox when you left 105 First Avenue,
Yes.
you told them you're a sober person, you don't do weed, you don't drink alcohol, and you don't smoke. You told them that.
I'm talking to a police officer. Yes.
Yes, I assume.
Yeah. I'm talking to a cop.
So you wouldn't tell them, you would tell them you would be, it's unlawful. Are you suggesting it's unlawful to smoke cigarettes?
Not cigarettes, but to do drugs, it is.
But you said cigarettes.
Well, I was down to one. That's why I said I buy Lucy's, because I was cutting down and I was trying to smoke one cigarette a day. So I just said that I'm quitting.
You told the officers you don't smoke cigarettes.
Well,
Yes or no,
I was
sir,
in the
please.
process.
I'm sorry?
I was in the process of not smoking.
Okay. So you lied to the officers when you told them that.
I guess you can say that, yes.
Okay. Now, when you stopped at the store, do you remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, in this statement that you gave to Froelich and Adcox on December the 3rd, the early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning statement, correct? You remember that statement?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The statement that was played here is an exhibit in this trial that you gave at Ansonia Police Department in the early morning hours of December the 3rd, 2019, between yourself, Detective Froelich, and Detective Adcox, where they took your clothing. Do you remember that conversation?
Well,
It's a yes or no. Do you remember the conversation?
I remember seeing it afterwards, but I don't remember being there or happening.
Okay. So that was you on the videotape, correct?
It was me, yes.
All right. So now, in that particular conversation, you said nothing about going to the store for a Lucy.
For what?
You said nothing about going to a store for a Lucy.
It wasn't important.
It wasn't important.
No.
Okay. So now, the first time you ever told the story about the Lucy was December 12th of 2019. Hang on. December 12th of 2019. Do you recall that?
Probably.
And when you told the story about stopping for the Lucy, didn't you gave a lot more detail to the detectives on December the 12th of 2019 than what you said on direct testimony here today? Isn't that right?
Probably.
You told them that you, out of courtesy for Vanessa and Christine, you lit up the Lucy outside the store and smoked it.
Probably.
You told them that you engaged in a conversation with a black guy that knew you from the days in the neighborhood, didn't you?
Probably. I don't remember this, but probably.
You told them that you were there for quite a long period of time talking to this guy.
Probably like 2-3 minutes.
You told them that while you were talking to them, people that you had had problems with in the past in the neighborhoods started to drive by.
Yes.
You told them that that those people followed you to Barbarino's.
I believe they did. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they did, yes.
So let's back up for a second now. Let me get back to the weekend of December the 1st of 2019. I want to get into Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Okay.
You stated on direct that you saw people coming into your home.
That's correct.
And you stated that you watched somebody grab Vanessa and run out of the house. Is that correct?
I heard. I didn't see the person, but I heard.
How could you hear a person running out with Vanessa?
Well, I heard him in the area where the car seat is at, taking the car seat and going out the front door.
Well, we'll come back to the car seat later.
Okay.
But with regard to, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Morales, isn't that?
Yes.
Is Vanessa in the car seat?
No, Vanessa was on the bed next to Christine.
Okay.
When I went outside to smoke, Vanessa was on the bed next to Christine.
So
I'm glad we're talking about the baby. Where's she at?
showing you states, I'm sorry, defense D again, you know, this was the internal sketch that you wrote of 6.5 Myrtle, correct?
Correct.
You had 5.5 years to think about this, correct?
Yes.
Why did you leave out Vanessa's crib?
I left out all the furniture out. None of
Well,
the
that's not correct, is it, Mr. Morales?
Well,
You got your bed there.
Well, the bedroom area. I wanted to.
Okay. You got your bureau there.
Yes.
You have a dresser here and a dresser here.
Yes.
You've got a washer and dryer in this.
Yes.
Why no crib?
I left all the furniture in this area out just to illustrate the whole living area.
So now, you heard somebody run out with Vanessa. You don't know that. That's what you're saying.
No, somebody did ran out with Vanessa.
But you said you couldn't see it. You were down on the
I
ground.
was down on the ground, yes.
So you didn't see it. Did you see it?
I didn't see him run out
But you still believed at that time Vanessa was gone.
at that time.
Because
Yeah,
you believed that you heard whether you saw it or not, right?
No, I saw the guys that came in. One was struggling with Christine in the bedroom, and the other one was grabbing the stuff around the house, which was Vanessa, the car seat, and he ran out the front door.
So you saw then, so now you're saying you saw the guy grab Vanessa.
Well, partially, I saw what was happening, but I was on the floor.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out, Mr. Morales, because you've got one guy struggling with Christine, and if the baby's on the bed and that person would have had to have gone right past you to get to the bed area, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't get hit in the head, correct?
Correct.
So you're on all fours, having taken a shot to the ribs by your statement. And did you see the second guy rush past you to get Vanessa?
They both did, yes.
They both did.
They both came in the apartment.
So now, the guy runs out the door with Vanessa, and you know that.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point is when you saw the second guy then beat Christine down with the crowbar.
Well, no, not at that point. When he ran out, I still hear the struggling happening in the bedroom area. Seconds later, I see Christine running towards the door area, and she either collapsed or she tripped. The guy is running after her, and he hit her with the crowbar when she was already on the floor.
Not just once.
No, he hit her once. He started cussing out. He said, "You scratched me, bitch." He cussed her on a couple of times, and then he hit her 2 more times. And as he was bringing the crowbar up, I see stuff coming out.
Her brains.
No, not her brain.
Because that fell out in the bathtub later on.
Probably.
Probably.
Yes.
So now, you must have seen her get hit at least 8 times, right?
No, I saw, I don't know. I didn't get to see what was happening in the bedroom. I just heard the struggle. But I saw that when she fell by the doorway, he only hit her 3 times with the crowbar right there.
You heard Dr. Hartnett McCann testify that she counted at least 8 separate impact points, minimum.
Well, he did hit her pretty hard. Hard, extremely hard.
Oh, I got that. My question more is, you heard the doctor say she counted at least 8 separate marks on Christine's skull.
Well, I don't know what happened in the bedroom.
Okay.
Well, I heard the struggle, but I cannot testify to how many times he hit her over there or whatever, or which way I know that she collapsed in front of me.
Mr. Morales, did you kill Christine Holloway?
No.
Mr. Morales, were you so intoxicated on a substance, PCP or alcohol or any other substance, that you do not remember killing Christine Holloway?
I did not kill Christine Holloway.
I just want to be sure, right? We heard the 911 tape. Is there any possibility that this is a delusion that you are engaged in?
No.
Okay. And you're 100% sure of that?
I'm 100% sure that people came into the apartment.
People
yes.
came into your house and they killed.
Well, one of them did, yes.
Okay. So let's go back to Barbarino. You made it up to Barbarino.
Yes.
And you say Christine purchased a car.
Yes.
You were about to say, we purchased the car?
No, we were in Barbarino's for like
Okay.
4 hours.
You said on direct that the plan that was here was first Christine was going to get the car and then you were going to get a new car.
Yes,
Yet you didn't have a job at that time.
I was gonna get a job.
You were going to get a job. You had no job at that time, right?
At the moment, at the time, no.
In fact, you had no money at that time. Isn't that right?
Well,
Hmm?
money was going faster than it was coming in. So yeah, I had no money.
Isn't it true that you owed money to a bank? Didn't you tell the police officers about the money that you owed the bank?
Well, it was a collection.
It's a yes
agency.
or no, sir?
Yes,
So you had a bank chasing you for the money that you
Oh.
owed them.
a collection agency, I believe it was. Yes,
Okay. All right.
like $300.
Right. Okay. Well, and in fact, when you went to the Shell station, your card was declined for insufficient funds, wasn't it?
No,
You have a clear memory that you entered the wrong PIN number?
I couldn't figure out the numbers.
How is it possible that you have a memory that you couldn't figure out the numbers versus that the card was declined for insufficient funds?
Because I kept trying the numbers multiple times and I couldn't figure it out.
So you have a memory of not being able to figure it out.
It didn't work.
You have a memory of it not working.
I couldn't purchase anything. I couldn't buy the cigarettes that I wanted to buy.
Your Honor, I would move at this point to strike it. It's not responsive. Do you,
Hold on, let me strike it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will strike the last response. And the answer does call for a yes or no, Mr. Morales, okay?
do you have a memory of why the card didn't work?
No,
Okay. So you don't know if the card was declined or not.
I do know.
How do you know if you don't have a memory?
I couldn't buy the cigarettes.
I understand, but isn't it equally as probable that the card was declined because of your financial problems?
No,
No. So you have a memory of why it was.
I don't understand what you get into.
So back up to Barbarino's. We're at Barbarino's, and what happened from there?
I agree.
Well, a car was chosen. I was asked to go to the house and get the Mazda that was going to be traded in for the car as part of the down payment. And I drove to my parents' house and then.
Okay, so let's stop there for a second. So now you're going to Barbarino. You've withdrawn. Christine has been looking for a car for at least several weeks prior to this event, correct?
No,
Did the text messages that we looked at earlier discuss cars?
we said that we have to get a car.
Right. You were discussing it in the text messages, weren't
didn't-
you?
We never looked for a car though.
She said she was going on the web.
She was using my car.
She said, would you like me to show you the text again?
No, you don't have to.
So you remember, she said she's going on the web to look for a car, correct?
Probably.
Would you like me to show you the text message again?
You don't have.
I can do it for you if you'd like. I'll go get it.
Hey, guilty of crime. Yes, this is the PCP brain removed homicide with the 1-year-old missing child. The defendant has taken the stand and is being examined by the prosecutor right now.
You don't have to.
Do you remember her saying to you, she's going on the web to look for a car?
Well,
It's a yes or a no.
I don't remember, but she probably did said it.
page 407, Mr. Morales, in the text message chain.
Hey, Cornish.
Can we just identify?
Sure, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is exhibit 177.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At the very bottom, thought we were in this together and we took care of each other. I can see now I was wrong. I will do money tonight and look at website for car on 11/22. Do you remember that?
I see, yes.
My question to you now is, you were in the market for a car at least by 11/22.
I guess.
So the question is then, withdrawn, of the two cars that you had, her car was worse than your car, right?
Yes.
That's why you were getting rid of it.
Yes.
Why are you driving your car up to Barberino where you have scheduled an appointment, correct?
Yes.
This is not, we're just going to look. You have an appointment with a salesman.
That's correct.
Why are you driving your car?
Because we didn't know if we was gonna get accepted.
Well, assuming
she was gonna try, we were there to try. We was gonna try it, but he got through. He went through.
Okay.
So it was good.
Does it make sense that you're driving your car?
Yes, because her car was in really bad shape.
Okay.
That's the reason why she was having. That's the reason why she had my car, because I didn't want to be driving around in her car. It had
I
noise
understand.
and it will shut off in every stop, every red light.
But you still now have to come back to New Haven, so you say, right?
Yes.
And you still have to get this car that has all these problems and still drive it back up to Wallingford.
Yes.
So either way, the car was going to have to make the trip from New Haven to Wallingford.
Yeah, but only me.
Okay.
In the car.
I got you. So now, before you left to go back down to New Haven, tell me what steps that you took after saying bye to Christine and Vanessa, I'll be right back. What did you do?
I got in the car and drove to my parents' house.
This is your car that you drove up there.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a child seat in the car?
Yes.
Okay. Do you you have a different seat than the one that's in Christine's car?
No, it's the same.
You only have one child seat between the two of you.
Yes.
So you took the child seat with you back to New Haven.
The base, not the car seat, just the base that was in the car.
Okay. So now you get back to New Haven and you get Christine's car.
Yes.
And what happens next?
I park the Nissan and I get in the Mazda and I drive back to Wallingford.
Did you take anything?
No. I forgot the base to the car seat.
You forgot the base to the car seat.
Yeah.
You left that back at New Haven?
I left it in the Nissan, yes.
Okay. So how did Vanessa get home in the new car?
I did with the seatbelt in the back seat. I tied the seatbelt to it, and then with the passenger seat, I pushed the passenger seat back, and with the backrest of the passenger seat, I pinched it to get to the car seat, and it was very steady.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like this is one of those car seats like a Duna, right? Where the infant carrier fits into a base and it locks in.
Yes.
And that the base itself is usually, there's like alligator clips that clip in and grab anchors in the car, right?
Yes.
So person can carry an infant around in this carrier and then just drop it and lock it into the base.
Yes.
So on the carrier, there are no seatbelt safety holds, are there?
No.
So your way of transporting your daughter back was just to wedge it between the seat and sort of wrap a seatbelt around it?
Well, not wedge it, but yes.
And it sounds kind of unsafe, don't you think?
Well, we did it for months when Vanessa was first born.
Okay.
We only had a car seat without a base for 2 months.
I'm not asking about other times. I'm asking, does it sound safe to drive from Wallingford to New Haven with a child in an unanchored car seat?
To be fair, let me close the window. I apologize. My landlord's cutting the grass. But you know, back in the day, the car seats didn't have bases. But yeah, if you have a base, it's really stupid, and it doesn't make any sense to be driving the baby around without the base.
It was pretty steady. It's pretty steady.
Do you think, where you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury on direct that you took the car for a joyride? Wasn't that your words?
Yes.
So you have this child that's loosely sort of strapped in the back there,
Not loosely, it's tight.
and you're not taking a direct path home. You're driving all around to check out the new car.
We didn't go nowhere far.
So now you got back on Friday. Got this new car, and you went back into helping your mom decorate the house. Is that what you recall?
Yes.
And everything's good for you at that point, right?
Everything is good for all of us at that
For
point.
you, for Christine, Vanessa, everything is good.
Everything is good.
Can I ask you why then, over a holiday weekend, a man who's in a good relationship would decide to leave the mother of his child and his child at night to go and meet some guy? Why would you do that?
The proposition was that he was going to hook me up for the ride to Bridgeport and back.
I understand. So, and I understand what you've told these people. You are telling them you're in a good relationship, but yet you are leaving your infant daughter and the mother of your child to go back to Aunt Sonia so that you could go meet some guy. Is that what's
I
happening?
went to meet Hector, yeah. It's not that it's silly. It's
There's
that
no
we needed the money.
No, that was
I'll strike any responses.
He called me silly.
no.
I'm going to strike your responses, Mr. Morales. There's no question pending.
Just so the record, I put a cough drop in my mouth and then realized that I won't be able to talk with it, so I was spitting it into a napkin. With regard to then Friday night, you drove your car to Hector's and then from Hector's house to Bridgeport. Is that right?
Yes.
And now Hector, for a second, this is a guy, you didn't know his last name, right?
Yes.
You didn't know his street address, where he lived, right?
Yes.
And in fact, you had only met him like a few weeks before at a nursing home. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay. And that you drove to Bridgeport, and your expectation was that you were, I think, going to buy some weed, right?
Well, he said that he just told me that
I'm going to ask,
ride and he
I'm
was
going to
gonna-
object to what he said, Your Honor. It's also non-responsive. I asked what his expectation was.
Okay, so again, I will strike the portion of the response that talks about what someone else said, I believe referring to Hector. So from there on, and we'll re-ask the question.
I'll re-ask the question. You drove Hector. It was your expectation that he was going to buy weed. Yes or no, sir?
No, that wasn't exactly the way it was.
All right. So you got now to Bridgeport, and Hector left your car. Is that right?
We got to Bridgeport and what?
Hector left your car.
What you mean he left my car?
Got out.
Oh, yes. No, I never say he got out. We got to Bridgeport. We stopped in the gas station. He got out. Yeah, he went and bought something in the gas station.
Okay. But then you got to a place where a drug deal went down, right?
Yes.
Did it happen in your car?
No.
So he got out of your car to go and meet a drug dealer.
In a different car that was
Oh,
parked in.
so in other words, you were not there when Hector made the purchase.
Exactly.
You did not see what Hector purchased.
He bought more than you think. Yes.
Did you see what Hector purchased?
No.
So you have no idea what Hector purchased.
I have an idea.
Well, the next thing you said on direct was at some point you stopped and Hector rolled this blunt and that he passed it to you and you shared it with him.
Yeah, I didn't say that we stopped. I was driving and he was rolling as I was driving.
When you smoked the blunt, you started to describe the impact. Tell us about the impact again of when it.
Well, when I was smoking with Hector?
Yeah. How did it make you feel?
Well, I was getting high and high until the point that I passed out.
So just from that one hit at that point, you were blacked out. You were passed out.
No one hit. Half a blunt, probably.
Okay. You're passed out.
I passed out.
And you have no idea what you're doing after that.
No idea.
Okay.
Lucky that we didn't crash.
Lucky.
Yeah.
And that, but you didn't crash, did you?
No.
No. Now, with regard to this, somewhere along the line, you say that you, after returning to Hector's house, you then made your way up to 6.5 Myrtle.
Yes.
Attorney Stein, we'll be breaking shortly. Is this a good time to break?
Yeah, one final question, Your Honor. Thank you. And from the time that you left Hector's house in East Haven, you maneuvered all the way up to Ansonia back to 6.5 Myrtle.
Well, I stopped.
It's a yes or no question.
I maneuvered, yes.
You drove your car.
But I made a few stops.
You remember stops?
I remember one stop in particular.
Okay. So you remember a stop, and you remember that you drove your car all the way from East Haven. What roads did you take?
That I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So you remember making stops, but you don't remember what road you took.
Well, that's the reason I made the stop, because I couldn't really concentrate or focus. So I started to give myself some time to get back to reality. So
Because your executive functions were impaired.
because I was impaired, yes.
And that impairment produces an inability to operate a motor vehicle. Wouldn't you agree with me, Mr. Morales?
Well, it makes
It's a yes or no question. Would you agree that cognitive impairment would prevent you from operating a motor vehicle?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You drove from East Haven to Ansonia, an automobile, correct?
Yes.
Did you get into a motor vehicle accident at all during this trip?
Luckily not.
Did you get pulled over by a police officer anywhere along the line during this trip?
No.
Did you successfully navigate traffic lights and traffic control signals?
Not really. That's why I stopped and waited for a while before I started getting control.
A while? How long's a while?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well, you told us earlier that you left Hector's. It was after 11 o'clock, didn't you?
No.
What time did you leave Hector's?
I would say, I couldn't tell you exactly, but somewhere in between 10 and 12, somewhere in between there.
On direct examination, this will be my final question before lunch, Mr. Morales. On direct exam, you were rattling off times with specificity to the minute. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember saying that you arrived at places like at 1:09 or 1:13. You don't remember that at all?
No.
When Attorney Gavin was asking you questions?
No, I remember sometimes, not all the times.
Okay. I'll break here. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our lunch recess from 1 to 2. We'll be back here at 2.
Okay, and we will also be back here at 2 o'clock because I need to make the children's lunch. I've already scheduled the live stream. I think I've got it for 2:05, but I'll be watching at 2 o'clock to see what happens, see if they're back. This prosecution is tearing him a new one, boy. I mean, but it was all, like Ashley said, lies to begin with. It was all lies to begin with. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. Prosecution is doing a great job. Yep, the cross is going to continue. All right, so I'll see y'all back in an hour. An hour and 5 minutes, somewhere around there. I love y'all, and just in case you don't make it back, if nobody has told you, you are important, you are special, you are loved, and I love you, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out with us while we watch this trial. And not see you tomorrow. I said see you tomorrow. I'll see you in a few minutes.